Hey, it's all with a full guide to completing the whodunnit achievement. It's a big part of the Secrets of Azeroth event. I'm going to take all the mystery out and guide you through all the quests and the steps, and by the end you'll have collected a bunch of fun toys and cosmetics. Use the navigation below to get to each part of the achievement. Please like the video to support the channel, subscribe for more coverage, and let's get started. The very first thing you want to do to at least help you identify things a little bit easier is to turn on names for everything, so it's easy to tell what's what, and also turn on the interact button and allow it to display an icon whenever there's something to interact with. It'll help you identify the clickable goodies for accuracy. Also, you're going to be picking up some special toys, a tricked out thinking cap, the torch of Pyrreth, and the idol of Ohn'ahra. As a rule of thumb, once you have these items, just make sure that they're activated before progressing through these steps, despite me telling you pretty much exactly where to go. Also, regarding the idol, it will deactivate whenever you mount up, so if you mount up and then land, just make sure you turn it back on. There's no cooldown. Your journey begins over in Valdrakken, where you can pick up the Preservationalist quest by the mailbox in front of the bank. This will lead you over to the nearby inn. Turn in that quest and pick up the new one to get a mystery box. Now talk to Bobby Carlyle for a clue that should trigger the next part, then progress to the nearby bank. On the left hand side you should see a place to click, and your interact icon should light up. Use the dialogue option to place the item back where it should be, and quest complete, you've fulfilled the Preservationalist requirement. Go to the Valdrakken Inn and pick up the quest from Preservationalist Kathos called Rise in Relic Theft, which will automatically complete and you'll get an item in your inventory. I'm not entirely sure if you can skip steps, so I'm just going to pretend that you can't. You want to head down to Ohn'ahra, the Tuskarr village down in the Azure Span, and progress to the inn underground. Talk to Elder Poa and get through the quest dialogue. You're now going to head to Northrend, make your way there, and go to Milwaukee Harbor over in the southern coast, and speak to Elder Konani in the big tent. Get through the dialogue to receive an item. Now progress west all the way to Borean Tundra and to these coordinates. You're going to find a big old statue that looks like a Tuskarr, and at its base is a spot to place the spear that you received. Click on it and you'll complete the Ceremonial Spear requirement. Talk to Bobby for a quest called a Secretive Contact. Now you're going to collect a bunch of stuff. You need to get a few items, which you can get from the auction house if you want to, or you can progress to these coordinates and you can get it yourself. You need 5 Thunderspine Tenders, 5 Apexis Asiago, and 5 Latticed Stinkhorn. The coordinates and the names are there on the screen. Now you also need to loot a certain kind of fish, a hungering Tirana for a fresh Tirana. You can go to the coordinates on screen here to find it. Finally, go to the jewel crafting spot in Valdrakken and talk to Shaky Flatlip. For the most straightforward method, you can just fork over 1,000 gold to get an item from him. The cheaper method is to go to the secret bar in Valdrakken. Select the dragon statue and use the bow emote to go to the hidden bar. Talk to the barkeep to pay only about 400 gold, then talk to Shaky Flatlip for the item that you need. While you're at the inn, talk to Erugosa, the cooking trainer, and give her the food that you got earlier for another item. Then head over to the engineering crafters area in the city and talk to Griffin. Give him the fresh Tirana for the last item, and you should now have all 3 items. Click on one of them from your inventory to create a new item that'll start a quest. Turn this in at a room near the barbershop to receive a new toy and the quest. Pick it up, and now we get to finally deal with those arrows we've been seeing throughout Valdrakken in an earlier patch. Click on the arrow just at the doorway by the quest giver. Then head over to the Dragon Whelp daycare place and look right, kind of under there. You can sort of see it on screen. Then head over to where the leatherworking trainer is and click on that arrow. Then head over to the jewel crafting trainer, there's an arrow to click there. Then hop over to the alchemy area for another arrow. Now fly on top of the auction house's roof for another arrow. Head over to the blacksmithing area for another arrow. Then go inside the seat of the aspects, not on top, but just inside. To your left by a bonfire, there's another arrow. Finally, over at the Emerald Enclave off the side of a waterfall is a last arrow. With that, you can turn in the quest back where you found it. This at least shows up on your map, and you've completed the thinking cap portion of the achievement. Talk to Bobby Carlyle for a quest called Inside Job. He's the guy by the barbershop who gave you the thinking cap, and turn in the quest. Now go to the Valdrakken Inn's 2nd floor. In the smaller room, you're going to see a bed, and tucked away in the corner is a treasure chest. Loot it, and head over to the Emerald Enclave. There's an NPC inside. Talk to them and initiate dialogue to make a quest marker appear. Pick it up and return to the second floor of Valdrakken and return the item that you picked up. Return to Fangli near the barbershop to turn in the quest and complete the inside job portion of this achievement. Talk to Tithris, the innkeeper inside the Roasted Ram, for the Securing an Artifact quest. Head to the Waking Shores, to the Lifebinder Conservatory, and you're going to look for a few levers. Make sure your Interact Key display is running and head over to these coordinates to find the levers. Once you hit all three, head over to the largest building here, and on the first floor, just inside the fireplace area to the left, is a torch you can pick up. This is going to start a new quest to return to the inn and speak with Kathos. Then you'll get a new quest to try this toy out. Activate it and head over to these coordinates. The torch is going to activate and reveal a chest that you can click on. Turn in the quest and you've completed the Torch of Pyrreth part of the achievement. Talk to Bobby at the Valdrakken Inn to pick up the Chilling Ascent quest. Fly over to the eastern part of the Azure Span and over to these coordinates. Use the thinking cap to calibrate it, although I'm not 100% certain that you have to. But now you want to head over to these new coordinates nearby. Activate the Torch of Pyrreth, and a tablet should spawn that you can click on, and that starts a quest. Now head back to Bobby Carlyle in Valdrakken to turn in the quest, and that completes the Chilling Ascent part of the achievement. Talk to the innkeeper over in Valdrakken to pick up Idle Searching. Have your torch running and progress to the following 3 coordinates. At each one is a brazier that the torch will identify, and you just need to click them. Then head over to Tirakai and to these coordinates. Inside the big burial mound, you'll pick up the Idol of Ohn'ahra and a quest. Head back to the Valdrakken Inn and turn that quest in. You're going to get a new quest to try out the idol, which will track down treasures by pointing in a direction that's not unlike a compass. I'm not sure if the quest objectives are random, but you'll find them in the main area around the fountain, and I'll post up Wowhead's coordinates just in case. After you find all 3 gems, turn it in to complete the Idol of Ohn'ahra part of this achievement. Talk to Kathos or Kathos or however it's pronounced and pick up the Into the Sands quest. This one's pretty cake. You just need to head over to the southern region of Valdrassus under the Bronze Dragon Hub. Use the Idol of Ohn'ahra to locate the Time Lost fragments. The idol will point the way. I'll also post Wowhead coordinates in case the item locations are fixed. Once found, complete the quest back with Kathos, and the Shifting Sands portion of the achievement is complete. Talk to Bobby Carlyle to pick up a key story. Head over to the blacksmithing area in Valdrakken and talk to weaponsmith Koref. They're just inside the building. You're going to get an item, and now you're off to the Anarn Plains. Head over to these coordinates with the Torch of Pyrreth activated, and it's going to reveal an item. Use the thinking cap just in case, and then walk over to these coordinates. It's not very far at all. You're going to find a Titan key mold that starts a new quest. Go back to Koref over at the blacksmithing building to complete the quest, and finish the What's in a Mold part of the achievement. Talk to Bobby Carlyle at the Valdrakken Inn. He'll direct you to Koref at the blacksmithing building, who will give you a list of stuff to collect. Now head north to the Waking Shores and turn on your Idol of Ohn'ahra. You're looking for rose gold dust that you'll find along the overflowing rapids part of the zone. I found most of them in this particular area here with the elementals. Now head east, around the area where Horde and Alliance players land on Waking Shore. Igneous Flux is found where lava meets water. I found some in the area, but also a bit north too. Just use the idol to guide you and stay closer to the water. Once you have everything, fly over to the Obsidian Citadel and the Forge. Blacksmith should be familiar with this area, and talk to Koref, who moved there. You're going to help him forge a new item by clicking on some extra action buttons and then using the torch, which kind of just means standing there with it activated. Once that's done, complete the quest with Koref to get a transmog weapon set, and you're done with the forging a key part of the achievement. Talk to Kathos in the Valdrakken Inn for the Proper Burial quest. Head over to Mordecai and over to Sansut Khan. They're near the tent where you do rep turn-ins and then progress through the dialogue. Now head over to Pinewood Post. Talk to Jara and progress through the dialogue. Then head a bit northeast to the giant statue that reminds me of a Kyrian steward. Use the Idol of Ohn'ahra and it's going to point you to a marker that you can click on. Then head south to the Roaring Dragon Springs inside a cavern. Climb up the ramp inside and around to the nearby ledge for another marker. Now fly over to Windsong Rise towards the top, and on a ledge is another marker. Head over to the big mound at the Eternal Kurgans, go to the far back room on the left, and towards the back of that room is another marker. Head over to the Dead Snare Caverns. Just outside is another marker. Then head inside, deep into the cave, but climb to the higher level. You should see a marker that you can click on to place the special banner item. And with that, the proper burial requirement is complete. Talk to Bobby Carlyle over at the Valdrakken Inn for the special book quest. You're heading all the way to Karazhan, so have fun, get going. Enter the original version of the instance, meaning go take the front door. Progress until you defeat the Curator, and you're in a place with all these books and elementals and worms and stuff, and use the Idol of Ohn'ahra and follow that towards books on a shelf. Ignore the books that are on the ground. It seems that you need to find 4 books until you find the correct one no matter what. I'm going to leave this picture up for you to reference, but eventually you'll find the right book. Once found, turn in the quest and you are done with Kirin Tor Knowledge. Quick side note, some of the mobs here, they only take physical damage. You're in no actual danger whatsoever, obviously, but depending on your class, you may need to melee all of them down so that way you can, hearth or otherwise get out. Talk to Bobby Carlyle over in the Valdrakken Inn, who's going to direct you to talk to Fangli by the barbershop. Your objective here is to find little pieces of paper around the city. From experience, you can find them in pretty much any order as long as you eventually find them all. I'm going to put up coordinates, but make sure that you have your interact key and the Idol of Ohn'ahra also running for reference. There's one note just inside the auction house to your left when you enter. There's also one to the left when entering the transmog place by the Emerald Enclave. You'll find another note in a room just between the Ruby and Sapphire Enclave. Note the Quarreling Gardeners nearby. Also at the Sapphire Enclave, the room where you trade for Primal Storm gear, that also has a note. Behind the general store in the Artisan Market is another note. And finally, at the hidden bar in the Valdrakken Inn, once again you want to use the bow emote on the statue to get in, there's a note hanging out when you lean left and go along the wall. Once you find all of the clues, you're going to get a quest to turn in with Fangli, and that completes the Under Suspicion portion of the achievement. Go talk to Ithris at the Valdrakken Inn to pick up a Sphere in Danger, then head over to Stormshroud Peaks to the south. There are 3 caves to enter at these locations and coordinates. You want to use the Torch of Pyrreth in the caves to reveal a clue that leads you to another buried item. 2 of the caves are small enough that you can just find the clues easily enough, but for the last you want to head over to these coordinates because you're going to be traveling a good ways inside. Once you get all the clues, head over to these new coordinates for each of the buried items and make sure you loot them. Use one of the items to combine all 3 and you're going to get a quest. Turn that quest in to complete the Curious Orb part of this achievement. The final part of the achievement is involved, but also is pretty straightforward. Talk to Kathos to kick things off, and you're off to Tierhold to solve a little gauntlet of puzzles. Your first objective is to power up 8 orbs that are being held by Titan statues around Tierhold. Just have your torch activated and perch on top of them for like a few seconds to activate them. When all 8 are activated, progress to the forge where the friendly NPCs usually are and approach the giant Titan face towards the back. You're going to receive a buff that'll make you friendly to most of the NPCs down on the lower floors. On every other floor, there are 2 rooms, and in each is a hidden item that can be found using the Idol of Ohn'ahra. That means 6 of those items in all, and 1 can be found in every room. But also be sure to click on some of those items as they can be combined, and you're going to have a total of 4 unique items in the end. The next step around Tierhold are these kinds of light pillar generators. There are 4, 1 for each item that you have. So go into each one and activate the consoles to finish this step. And finally, head to the level just above the forge area in the middle, and you're going to see a little quest icon. The rest will explain itself. Complete the remaining objectives with some good old-fashioned violence, collect the quest items, and turn them in for the final achievement. And congrats! You've got a mount, and you collected some fun stuff along the way. I do hope this guide was useful. If so, please hit the like button, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live on Twitch for a chat, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.